Imagine yourself hiking through the woods when you hear a twig snap. You catch a glimpse of something big, large and hairy whirling around. Have you just sighted Bigfoot? Okay, most likely not. But just because there is no Sasquatch doesn't mean there isn't science behind some of the claimed sightings of monsters that never existed, or animals that once roamed the earth but are now extinct. Today in this video, we bring you some of the unbelievable stories behind unbelievable creatures and things caught on camera. Jba Fofi. The Jba Fofi, also known as Congolese Giant Spiders, are a type of gigantic spider cryptid that is reported to inhabit the Congolese jungles, possibly indicating a new arachnid species. The majority of the anecdotal stories depict spiders digging a shallow tunnel under tree roots and concealing it with a huge leaf screen. Then they weave an almost undetectable web between their burrow and a nearby tree, tying the entire region together with a web of trip lines. Some unsuspecting animals, which will almost certainly be up on the creature's menu, will trip the line, alerting the spider. The victim will then be pursued through the web. This predatory behavior is comparable to that of other trapdoor spider species. The Jba Fofi eggs are probably pale yellow-white and shaped like peanuts. The hatchlings, according to the natives, are bright yellow with a purple abdomen. Their colouring darkens and browns as they age. Some indigenous peoples in the Congolese regions where the Jba Fofi has been spotted claim that the spider was formerly relatively widespread but has since become extremely rare. The Jba Fofi was first seen by a Western observer in the 1890s near Lake Nyassa when British missionary Arthur John Symes and his companions came across one of the creatures. His troops became entangled in a massive web with two monstrous spiders, male and female, measuring 2 and 4 feet in length, emerged from the web and attacked them. Symes was bitten but escaped by shooting one of them with his revolver. He then got symptoms such as a deathly pallor, acute chills, swelling around the area where he was bitten, and became incoherent before passing out. He eventually succumbed to these side effects and died. The most detailed report by Westerners can be found in George Eberhardt's cryptozoological book. Eberhardt describes the terrible incident of an English couple travelling through a jungle region in what is now known as the Congo. R.K. Lloyd and his wife were motoring in the Belgium Congo in 1938 when they saw a large object crossing the trail in front of them. At first, they thought it was a cat or monkey, but they soon realized it was a spider with legs nearly 3 feet. Cryptozoologist William J. Gibbons has been searching for what some believe to be a living Congolese dinosaur known as Mokele Bembe. On his third attempt to find the beast, he met tribesmen who told him of their encounters with huge spiders. When he returned to Canada, he told readers about his experience. On this third expedition to Equatorial Africa, I took the opportunity to inquire if the pygmies knew of such a giant spider, and indeed they did. They speak of the Jba Fofi, which is a giant or great spider. They described a spider that is generally brown in colour with a purple mark on the abdomen. They grow to quite an enormous size with a leg span of at least 5 feet. The giant arachnids weave together a lair made of leaves similar in shape to a traditional pygmy hut and spin a circular web, said to be very strong, between 2 trees with a strand stretched across a game trail. These giant ground-dwelling spiders prey on the diminutive forest antelope, birds and other small game, and are said to be extremely dangerous, not to mention highly venomous, Gibbons states. The spiders are said to lay white, peanut-sized eggs in a cluster, and the pygmies give them a wide berth when encountered, but have killed them in the past. The giant spiders were once very common, but are now a rare sight. In March 2013, a video of an alleged Jba Fofi captured on a night vision camera near a waterhole close to a tree in Mozambique appeared on YouTube. The Jba Fofi comes briefly out of the darkness before darting back into it on the far right side of the screen. Many natives describe the spiders as once widespread but now a vanishing species. There is a possibility that the spiders were driven from their natural habitats as a result of human encroachment in the form of the conversion of rainforest land to agricultural use. Tasmanian tiger. The Tasmanian tiger story is one of tragedy. After European settlers arrived on the continent in the 1800s, the Thylacinus cynocephalus, which was once Australia's largest carnivorous marsupial, was hunted to extinction due to human activity. In 1936, the last Tasmanian tiger died in a zoo in Hobart, Australia. Or did it? The quest for living Tasmanian tigers began in 2017, after two plausible-looking accounts of the animals being seen in the wild. One observer was a Queensland Park Service employee, and the other was an avid outdoorsman. A few months later, a group of Tasmanian tiger enthusiasts published a video purportedly showing a wild tiger. Experts, however, were unconvinced that the murky images depicted an actual thylacine. If one of the dog-like marsupials is still alive, it hasn't yet shown signs of life. Bigfoot. Bigfoot is the most famous figure in cryptozoology, or the study of mythological monsters. From Pennsylvania to the Pacific Northwest, this hairy humanoid appears everywhere there are woodlands. Unfortunately, there is no solid evidence that towering ape men roam in distant locations. In 2008, a Georgia couple claimed to have discovered the body of a Bigfoot in a chest freezer, as well as DNA proof of the species. The DNA, however, belonged to an opossum, and the body was a crumpled gorilla suit. As it turns out, DNA is a popular tool among Bigfoot hunters. In 2012, DNA Diagnostics stated that a peer-reviewed study had evaluated 3 Sasquatch DNA samples and discovered Bigfoot to be the love child of ancient Homo sapiens and an undiscovered primate species. However, when the paper was finally published, it was in a brand new journal named De Novo with only one article, the one on Bigfoot. De Novo had only published one article as of 2018, a paper regarding early Native American DNA written by the same Bigfoot researcher and published in 2013. To say the least, mainstream scientists were unimpressed. The haunted Mr. Fritz doll. Mr. Fritz was supposed to have been created by an American ventriloquist who was imprisoned in a prison camp during World War II. It was later taken by a military memorabilia collector who gave the lone head to Michael Diamond, who still has it now. Just glancing at this doll will send shivers down your spine. It appears exceedingly eerie, and many individuals who saw Mr. Fritz in person stated that they couldn't stop staring at the doll's worn-down face for an extended period of time. Days after receiving the doll, Michael Diamond recognized it was more than just a disturbing display. Michael was hearing unusual noises throughout the home at night when everyone was sleeping, and he also kept finding the door of the glass case containing the doll open. One day, the collector decided to investigate and placed a GoPro camera in front of the doll. In this video, you can see the doll move on its own, blinking, moving its mouth, and even opening and closing the cabinet. Unnerved by what he saw, Michael decided to secure the glass cabinet with a chain and cover it with a blanket for good measure. Many people advised Michael to throw the doll away or burn it, but the collector said he couldn't face the thought. This is a surprising decision given that his wife and children live in the same house where the allegedly haunted doll is kept. Fisherman captures mermaid. Mermaids, according to tradition, are elusive sea creatures. They are supposed to have a human upper body but a fish lower half. Yet many people believe they only live in the human mind and on the pages of fictitious literature. Some sailors have claimed to have observed these creatures while cruising in the ocean. Although they are viewed as beautiful creatures, some folklore and legends portray them as mischievous and cunning, bringing misfortune and death to those who upset them and luring sailors to drown. Experts have yet to accept their existence. But what if they are true after all? In this video, you can see several fishermen dragging what appears to be a large catch, but what they caught was unusual. Inside the net, you can see what appears to be a human being. But when the creature struggles to break free, you'll observe its strange webbed hands. The fishermen on the boat were astonished by the bizarre creature and could only watch as it struggled inside the net. The net eventually snapped, releasing the purported mermaid. Many people still consider the presence of mermaids as a fiction, yet you can't deny the notion that there is some reality to their existence. After all, there are many unknown species in the sea, and we still don't know what lurks in the depths. Goblin shark. Southeast Asia's deep mountain forests aren't the only region where strange unknown species dwell. There is no place like the oceans for sheer biological mystery. There are goblins down there, believe it or not. Goblin sharks in any case, but you might stumble into a real goblin instead. Because they rarely come near to the surface, these deep-sea sharks are rarely seen. They feature long spear-like nostrils and projecting jaws with scores of needle-sharp teeth. They're usually found off the coast of Japan, but they've also been spotted as unintentional bycatch in fishermen's nets in the Gulf of Mexico. The majority of the sharks are around 8 feet, 2.4 meters long, but one taken in the Gulf was a massive 18 feet, 5.5 meters. A real unicorn. Truth is sometimes stranger than fiction. The saola is a real animal that could be mistaken for a myth. The saola, sometimes known as the Asian unicorn, is a wild cattle-like creature that lives in rural areas of Vietnam and Laos. It is rarely seen and was found in 1992. So what is the evidence? According to the World Wildlife Fund, a single skull with a pair of long straight horns. A pair of saolas were sighted on camera traps in 1999, demonstrating that they still existed in the wild. The next reported sighting occurred in 2010, when locals in Laos grabbed an adult male and brought it to a village enclosure. Unfortunately, the saola died in captivity, but the occurrence demonstrated that the species still existed in the area. Saolas are not kept in activity anywhere in the world, and the species is critically endangered. The Anguished Man. This terrifying painting is claimed to be the most haunted in the world. This piece is known as The Anguished Man, and it is reported to be owned by Sean Robinson of Cumbria, England. He inherited the painting after his grandmother died. In this video, you can see how haunted the artwork is, as well as how it continuously messes with the doors and furnishings around the house. The painter apparently blended his own blood with the oil paints he used for the painting, and he committed suicide shortly after finishing his last piece. The strangest thing is that many individuals from all over the world offered to buy Sean's painting, but he respectfully declined every offer and stated that he wanted to keep it in a safe and secure place. He is concerned that if the painting falls into the wrong hands, it will wreck other people's lives. The haunted painting could be harmful if not properly monitored, and it is also quite active. Let's hear what you have to say about these creatures and things in the comments down below.